Hey, let it be known, I'm working hard when I ain't on the phone. This ain't a home, this ain't a phone. Grind never stopping, I'm keeping it cold.
All right, so let's get into it. Now, you guys put your listening ears on, get your popcorn, get your drink. All right, we're going to get into this interesting story.
Okay, on this side now, let me scoot over.
We're going to get into this interesting story. All right, y'all. So please pay attention. Your attention span should be on 100. All right. What's up, Hank?
What's up? What's going on? What's going
on? How are
you?
Brother? All right, let's get into it. Turn it up, y'all.
I don't know if this is the right place to put this on. Yet the title of the group fits the situation.
So this is coming from the aspect of a woman. So we tried to put a woman's voice, but y'all see it's kind of weird. So don't be on us so much. So appreciate y'all with our patience.
Make sure if you can't hear it, just say you can't hear it. But yeah, this should be good. Let's go.
I placed myself in. I am posting because my therapist suggested that I should just let it all out, and oddly enough, Reddit seemed like a place to do it. So here it goes. I, 42, female, cheated on my husband, 42, male, 3 years ago. It destroyed my family and I regret it every day. My husband and I got together when we were 19. We were nowhere near each other's first, and for 22 years I thought we were happy. Sure, he has his moments when his temper gets the best of him, but he's the kind of guy that wears heart on his sleeve and takes a lot of crap, and when he blows up, he will grieve everything that has been bothering him, and I understand. I do the same thing and tend to say some heartless things towards him out of anger, and he never held it against me. Our says life was great. Of course he would love to have more. He would try every day, but as a stay-at-home mom of 5, 3 girls and 2 boys, I get tired and he voices his opinions when we don't have says, and I found it to be annoying. Thinking back, we could have says more often. Yet, he does help around the house. He works 60 hours a week and makes sure I sleep in on weekends, and I wake up to a nice clean house and breakfast. As the years went by and the 3 eldest began to head off to college, I was...
All right. We're going to get better on the audio, but I hope you guys are following.
So far right now, she's 42 years old. She cheated on her husband 3 years ago. They was together since they was 19. So they was together over almost over 20 years. She said the sex life was great, but she wished she could have did more because he complained about it in the marriage. She was a stay-at-home mom of 5, and he worked 60 hours per week, and then stay on the weekend, still cook and clean and helped her out in that situation because he knew she was doing a lot, right? So that's just kind of what's going on right now. So she's telling her story right now. So he said, so I know Alvin had a husband. Why? Yeah, this is coming from her perspective, right? We're going to get better, y'all. So
I was feeling that empty nest syndrome. I was bored, going a bit stir crazy. I still had my 2 boys, but they were in junior high and didn't need me really. My husband saw this and encouraged me to get a job. In hindsight, I should have told him no. Should have gotten a hobby. Should have done a lot of things differently. My husband is a bit stocky, slight overweight, but handsome. As for me, I seesaw between 150 to 210, depending on the year. When I started working again as a customer service rep, I was 160 and I felt great. I haven't been in the workforce in 21 years and it felt good to be back working. As the months went by, I began hanging out with the younger 25-year-old coworkers from the office that was encouraged by my husband because I lacked female companionship. I used to shove him to go hang out with his coworkers, so it was only fair that I did the same, and those girls put ideas in my head. They made me think that I could do better, made me think that my husband wasn't sleazy enough, made me think that I was held back. Even one of my male coworkers stated that my husband is a beta pretending to be an alpha, and I ate it up.
Pause that.
At the time, I thought my husband was...
You see what I'm saying? Some people never learn these terms until some fool gave it to them like that. Yep. I remember talking to my family members, and they're like, I learned what a pick-me was. Or pick-me is. That's not something we need to be learning. Only reason why I know what a pick-me is because I'm in the space to learn it, meaning I'm a content creator. But regular people understanding betas and all this stuff, as long as you're not being disrespected, let's throw the terms out. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, so they said, so right now from what we got, she was bored with the kids. She had 2 kids that's still there in the house, but they didn't really need her. Husband wanted her to get a job. and she was hanging around with those 25-year-old workers. If you 40 something, unless you imparting wisdom to these young girls, don't hang around with them, and young men too. Unless you putting them on game about stuff, it shouldn't be no conversation, right?
Yeah.
And then man told his wife that he was a simp and he was a weak guy, right? So let's see how that goes. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Frenchie? What's up, brother?
Hey, what's up?
He said 150 to 210. Wow, yeah, she gained a lot of weight. That's crazy. The pressure's shaking her head. This is terrible. Yeah, it's gonna get better, y'all. It's gonna get better, man.
Mannix said he heard the story before and he just gave the answer.
Hey, Mannix, chill out, man.
That's what's
all
up.
bark and no bite. Yes, I used to see him argue with people who would run their mouth. Had no problem stepping up to them, but I never saw him got into a fight. I don't know where that came from. I loved him. I honored him. In return, he honored me. All of our friends always told me how lucky I was to have him, and I felt lucky, yet somehow they all got in my head and I guessed my love for him. This little nudge kept going every time my co-workers and I talked, and eventually I began flirting with the same male co-worker who called my husband a beta.
Ooh.
He was the same age.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. A man told you he was a beta.
Yeah.
He was trying to get in them pants because he's like basically saying betas are no good.
Mm-hmm.
Come get with me.
Exactly.
That's not a man.
And a friend told her she was lucky. She was lucky. She was in a good situation. The friends told her she was lucky to have him, and they was jealous of what she had. But she wasn't thinking about that because she was only thinking about what that man said, right? So
yeah, she got fooled. Scotty the scammer out there.
Me, and he was handsome, physically fit, and as the weeks went by, one thing led to another. He made the first move and I just went with it. We were having sex every chance we got.
Oh, wait!
I felt younger, desired, and I treated my husband like crap. I denied him sex, poked fun at his weight, even tried to make him think that he was crazy when he questioned our relationship. I had no clue where that came from. Thinking back, I don't know why I was acting like that. I don't know who that person was. I realized how bad it was when my husband crushed a glass cup with his bare hands, staring at me with hateful eyes during dinner. You have a love bite, he spat while he wrapped up his palm and left to urgent care. My sons looked at me in shock.
So that's a hickey. So I guess that's we call it hickeys. They call it love biting spat. I don't know what the fuck that was, but it's talking about a hickey, guys, for all the black folks.
Because I was like, what?
Exactly, right? So, yep. All right, let's get it.
The eldest of the boys' eyes turned beet red before he ran off. I called my lover and yelled at him, and he told me that he wanted to mark his territory, and I felt disgusted. It was the first time I felt remorseful about what I'd done. It was after midnight when he came home and looked at me seriously in the eyes and asked how long. I wanted to deny it, wanted to tell him no, but I saw it on his face, so I told him 4 months. Did you duck his D?
That's a long time.
I said nothing. He walked around me, only to stop short by my ear and said low enough for me to hear, I want to divorce you, ducking promiscuous woman. I was so angry that he called me that. He never talked to me like that before, and all I could do was cry, especially when I noticed our boys staring at me at the foot of the stairs. They looked at me with such rage, and I was angry at him for doing that out in the open.
I gotta ask a question. If someone stole, are they crying when they got caught? Meaning, do you know why they're crying when they got caught? Because they can't do it no more. They're not crying because they're sorry. This doesn't make sense.
And she stopped having sex with her man for 4 months. So she stopped giving. She was already wasn't giving enough. Y'all remember in the beginning? She was saying she wished she would have had sex with him more and all that stuff. Now it's she stopped having sex with him for 4 months, and then now she wants to you know what I mean, get it in with this other cat because she's thinking it's all because she's going off of what he's telling her, saying your man is a simp, he ain't good, and he's trash, right? So it's crazy, man. He said, all right, go to some of the comments, says, but girl, you were being a hoe. Yeah, exactly. She got mad because he called her a hoe, basically. Right. He said, playing the sympathy card while confessing her foolishness after she picked forbidden fruit from the tree of a male outsider. Exactly.
Ooh, okay, just
yep. He said, laugh like she got some nerve. Exactly. Is this a real story? Yeah, it's a real story. We're gonna be doing this every Saturday. We're gonna be picking up different stories and talking about them, so you guys can like pick up some things. Because we trying to build long relationships, and they was married for 20 years. If for the people that's just coming in, this couple been married for 20 years, and she went soon as she went to job, went to work, all of that went out the window. All the good things this man was doing for her. So yeah. Hey, this story is it's gonna get worse, guys. So just tune in, man. All right, let's get it.
I should have been angry with myself. Should have been disgusted at myself. But I had these blinder on and my husband instantly checked out. It was like a light switch, and just like that, his love for me was gone. My female coworkers rallied behind me, convincing me that I was making the right choice and I could spend more time with my lover, and I bought into it. I didn't want the separation period. My husband moved out of the house and into an apartment a half-mile away. My sons were treating me like crap and my daughters refused to speak to me. My lover began coming over to the house despite my protesting, but he just came over. This infuriated my children and he refused to leave the first time my STBEX came over to pick up the boys.
My what? Oh.
My lover was more physically fit than my STBEX, but he just smiled at my lover. Not yet was what he told him with a smile. Not yet, but soon. When they left, I was so angry at my lover. I told him that what he did was uncalled for and he just ignored me, only to yell at me when he had enough, and it scared me. My lover soon began to tell me what to eat, what to wear, making these hurtful comments when no one was listening, and I let it happen. When the divorce gotten finalized, we negotiated 50-50 straight down with a payment plan to buy his half of the house. We had shared custody, but the boys wanted to live with him. I haven't seen my eldest daughters in a long time. They don't return my phone calls. I only found out one of them was in a serious relationship when he mentioned it. It was surreal when it happened. Watching him sign the papers caused so much pain in my chest. When he took his ring off and placed it on the paper, I felt the ball in my throat, and when he left, I realized I never apologized to him. I grabbed the pen and just stared at the ring. At that moment, I realized how much I ducked up. I destroyed my marriage, my relationship with my children, and I think I was in an offensive relationship, and I just cried. I couldn't breathe. I was too incoherent, but eventually I signed it. A week after my divorce was when my lover hit me for the first time. I was...
Woo! This story, man. So, all right. So what's going on? He became controlling, telling her what to eat, what not to eat, all that type of stuff. And you know what I mean? Now, now she's in a situation. Now he's becoming abusive. You know what I mean? Right. So after all this thing, so they was married at 19 years old. They had all their kids, had everything. He was working 60 hours a week. Yeah, 60 hours a week, still cook to clean on weekends. Girl, exactly. You know, so he was doing everything to make sure that the family was being taken care of and everything. And she let the friends and the co-workers destroy her marriage. And why y'all think she let that happen? Or why did you think those women told her? Because they was jealous. So a lot of times we let other people come into our relationships and they destroy our relationship because they are mad because they want to be in your shoes. So a lot of times, ladies and men, you got to be careful with the people you have around and getting advice from them, because they will destroy your marriage if you let them.
If you let them, you shouldn't be listening to that.
Exactly. So
thank you all for commenting. What's up? How are y'all doing? Maverick, hometown girls and curls. I like that. Yeah. That's nice. Yeah,
man. And then he started hitting on it, so it's gonna get crazy. So let's get it, man.
About my day, and I bumped into the nightstand and knocked over his phone. He gave me this look, slapped me, and called me clumsy. I called my ex, and the first thing he asked was, "Does he touch my children?" I told him no, and he just hung up. I cried so hard that night. Soon my lover got comfortable using his hands. It went on for 2 months, and at the time, I felt like I deserved it. My ex never laid a hand on me. My lover did, and to me, it was karma. It only stopped when he hit one of my daughters, who was home from college due to the pandemic. She was the only one who wanted to stay at the house. The 2 older ones stood at their dad. One phone call from her and my ex walked into the house, offered my lover a free hit before beating him into a bleeding pulp.
What?
My ex was stone-faced the entire time. No emotions. I had to beg to stop him. He looked at our daughter's bruised face and asked her what hand did he use to hit her, and he broke his right hand by stomping on it. When it was over, my ex took him and dragged him outside. Not once he looked at me. Not once acknowledged me. He took him to the hospital and told the ER that my lover fell down a flight of stairs. My husband stood by my lover's side. I do not know what they spoke about, but the following day my lover quit the job and left me. I kept working and my ex began screwing.
Yo.
Truth says, yep.
Yep. So y'all see how the guy was calling him a simp and he was weak and all that type of stuff before. Now all of a sudden, the daughter was there with the mom, and the mom didn't even much know her daughter was there. And then when she heard her mom getting beat up, she came to help the situation out. And now she got hit. So now that brought the father, her ex-husband, back into the picture. And he came in there with no problems, knocking him out. You know what I'm saying? So, and then he asked which hand did he hit my daughter with, because she had a bruise on the face, broke it, took the man to the ER. He said, "You going to the ER with me? Let's go." and then whispered in his ear what to say to the doctor. And then the guy quit and ran away. But he was the simp, though. He was the weak dude. But he came down and destroyed you. You know what I mean? So be careful. A lot of these people, oh, this guy's a simp, this guy's a simp. But this damn simp will whoop your ass. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's how a real man. Exactly. I would have.
He lucky it was just that.
Exactly. He broke it. He said, which hand? When I first heard that shit, I almost threw my phone. He said, which hand did you hit me with? We hit my daughter. I don't got no daughters, but I'm glad I don't. But if I had a daughter and that happened, this would have been crazy. So
yeah.
But yeah, let's get it, man.
Some of my single friends, even a couple of my coworkers. One of them was the girl who convinced me to cheat. I only found out after the fact when my coworker was stressing over him, bragging to the other girls how he blew her back out, constantly asking me about him and why he won't return her phone calls. It hurt me to know that he was doing that. I think he was doing that on purpose. I dated a few guys, but it never lasted. I'm a single mother of 5 children that seemed to push men away. Then there was the says, looking back, even with my lover, none of them could satisfy me the way my ex could. Which made me wonder, why did I allow this to happen? I was happy. How did I let myself get manipulated? I don't understand why. During this time my house was always quiet. My boys were either locked into their room or at their dad's. My daughters, with the exception of my third-born, refused to talk to me, and it was hurting. My ex saw this and he conducted a family meeting. He had all the kids in the house and I was happy to have all of our children under the roof, but the majority didn't want to be there. He began telling the kids to talk to me and my youngest called me a promiscuous woman. This shocked me. It hurt me so much and my ex slapped him right in front of me. Have I ever called your mother that? He barked and our son shook his head. Your mother takes care of you. She loves you.
So he's still a good brother. He's still protecting her even after the divorce. He said, hey, have I ever called your mom that? You know what I mean? So he's still protecting her. And I don't know if y'all caught that. So the husband started sleeping around, you know what I mean, after the marriage divorce was over, right? He started sleeping around with some of the friends that was telling her that her man wasn't nothing, to go have fun. And then they was talking about how he was blowing their back out. And she said he was the best partner she ever had, but she was in that affair fog that she wasn't even much realizing what she had at home, because she was so focused on, hey, I got something new, rather than appreciating what she had.
So, but why he had to sleep with them?
Because he didn't care no more. He was just like, all right, I got.
He turned savage.
It's a plate on the table. I'm gonna eat. That's what he said. So
I thought they didn't like his ass. See, so I'm telling you, exactly. They'll have sex with him now.
Yeah.
You and you will respect her. What happened between us has nothing to do with you. All of you will start respecting your mother. Do I make myself clear? He looked at all of our children and it spoke volumes, and my relationship with my children began to improve. During the 2nd year anniversary of our divorce, we were civil. We laughed, talked. He constantly came over to the house to fix things, to talk about the kids, and for a while I had my husband back and I leaned in. But he shoved me and said no before walking away. A month later, he began dating our youngest teacher. She's 10 years younger than him and they have a lot of common interest. She's extremely attractive and I tried to be civil while they were dating, but it hurt seeing him looking at her the way he looked at me. How he touched her, made her laugh. She was the center of his attention and I understood why people envied us. Why they kept telling me how lucky I was. That devotion, why I never noticed it? I had my nervous breakdown when I heard that they were expecting and they were getting married. I woke up with him by my side, wiping the stray strands from my face, and I just cried, begging him for forgiveness, for destroying our family, and he said nothing. He just let me talk while holding me. He visited me every day, only leaving my side to talk to his fiancée, and she even came over to check up on me. I don't deserve their sympathy. Her kindness, she even found me a therapist that they paid for. My therapist was blunt to say the least. She said I was having a midlife crisis, and instead of talking to my husband, I allowed these young women to manipulate me. She explained that they wanted to sabotage my marriage because they were single, most likely will never marry, and saw me as easy prey. Misery loves company, and the fact that the main instigator screwed my ex-husband only proved it.
But how are you going to take advice from someone that hasn't been married? I'm talking about like they're not even trying to get married. Because I don't understand this concept. I'm not saying you can't get advice from somebody, but they're giving you a bad analogy of your life that they don't even know.
And you got 20 years in.
That's what I'm saying.
You're
Like
an expert.
That doesn't make sense.
And you listen to people that have never been married before.
Yeah. To say something, like I could see if they were saying something positive because they love what they're seeing, right? They love your marriage and they want the best for you. Then you'll get people that never been married saying great things, but they're like trying to destroy it and you never caught that.
Yeah.
So what are we really influenced by? Are we influenced by the delusion or the idea that I can get somebody else?
Yeah.
Even though I've been married for so long? Mm-hmm. What are we really influenced by? Because how does these young people influence her to do that?
Yeah.
That means was she really not in the marriage like she thought she was for 20 years?
Yeah. It says Maverick said it's hard looking at what was once yours in the hands of somebody else. Yeah. Yeah, man. Now she has to deal with it. He said because she was a fool. Yeah.
Point blank.
Gosh, man. He said you have to take any advice. You have to take any advice by eating the fish and spit it out the bone.
Right. Exactly. Like you gotta sort out the good shit. Like
she said she should have stayed her ass at home and got a hobby. Yeah.
Right.
That's what she's saying. Now she's seeing he's gone now. Say I'm disappointed in her. Like I know her. Yeah, man. I promise you, yo, like real talk, no weak stuff. I almost cried when I heard the story. It still got some time to go, but I was like, yo, damn, I felt like it's my mama or some shit. Like, mama, damn, you failed us.
After a few months of sessions, she saw how I am still struggling with it, and she suggested to post on Reddit. Create a throwaway account and let the pain flow. It is therapeutic and a unique alternative to group therapy. My ex-new wife is a lovely person. She comes over a lot to check up on me. She talks to me, makes sure I'm okay, and as much as I want to dislike her, I can't. She's too nice and their twin boys are beautiful. My ex also comes around to make sure I'm okay, if I'm eating. Telling me that despite what happened, I will always be the mother of his children and he will always be there for me as a friend. He even came over last Saturday and let me sleep while he cleaned up the house and had breakfast waiting for me. That made me break down and cry. I miss him so much. I miss my husband. I miss my best friend.
I'm so confused. If this man worked 60 hours a week and still was able to, pick up slack
around the house.
Okay. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And you just destroyed it because of what someone said?
Yeah.
Am I missing something?
Yep. She said, oh my God.
I don't understand this.
Yeah, man. This is crazy. This is ridiculous. So yeah, man, you say you have to protect your mind when absorbing information because bad information can get you jammed up in real life. Exactly, man.
Yeah. Go to what's up, Bobby? How are you?
Hey, what's up, brother? What's up, man? Hey, I be just around YouTube going crazy. You know what I'm saying? And then I be listening to Red. I go on the site.
Let me tell you, this man right here finds all the crazy stories. If I don't get it in my DMs, I get stories sent to me all the time.
Yeah.
If I don't get stories sent to my DM, this man right here finds them. Yeah. My mom, everybody be sending me stories. I'm gonna just tell y'all right now.
Yeah, man. So Just Ruth said in 1993 film Poetic Justice, it was kind of sad watching Chicago give Holla Alicia.
Where are we? I'm sorry, I was
right here. After she exposed herself for sexual unfaithful to him, and awful disrespect. Yeah, I didn't watch that show on Poetic Justice. I forgot about that doggone movie. I said I didn't watch that show. I'm tripping. But yeah, I forgot about that movie. Yo, man, what's up, Smooth?
What's up, Big?
What's up, brother?
All right, the story's almost done. We're more than halfway. So if y'all want to call up to talk about it, I could definitely drop the link.
Yes. But let us know in the chat if y'all want to.
Yeah, let us know. Yeah.
Till this day, I don't understand how I was so easily manipulated. I'm so alone. My kids are here, but we're not as close as we used to be. But they're here. Yet the one person I want the most is not. He moved on, and I'm the reason why. Someday I will move on with my life, but for right now, I deserve this. I deserve everything. Edit. I spoke to someone in the messages and I wanted to set the matter straight. I wanted to talk about what my ex went through, but I felt like it wasn't my place to talk about his pain. I tried to make amends, countless times, but he wanted nothing to do with me. It didn't help that my AP didn't want to leave me alone. No matter what I did, he just wouldn't leave me alone. I felt trapped. During the affair, I was in this weird haze. It's hard to explain. It was like an out-of-body experience. That day was supposed to be the last time, and he left a mark on me. I remembered when I begged my ex to give me another chance. It was days after he found out. He just looked at me and walked away. Only 3 times he spoke to me, when he tried to be civil when signing the divorce papers, when I called him when my partner hit me, and the day after he nearly finished my AP. On that day, he unloaded everything on me.
AP means a fair partner.
Thanks.
Yeah. So a lot of these terms, they one was soon to be ex-husband. It was SB something whatever too. So they got like a whole bunch of acronyms, y'all. This world is crazy. We're gonna be doing this every week, so we can there's gonna be stories like this that we can actually learn from. So y'all just bring y'all popcorn.
Mentioned before, he has a habit of letting everything fester before he explodes. He yelled at me about my stupid choices, about destroying him, how he doesn't have the luxury to mourn our marriage because he needs to be strong for the kids, and I just cried because I broke this man. This strong man who would have tried to find a way to freeze hell if I asked him.
Yeah.
I apologized, but he didn't want to hear my apology.
No.
He told me that my AP will never bother me again and left. It took a year before we became conversational. Before that, he wanted nothing to do with me. When he started fooling around with some of the women I knew, I just let him be. I knew why he was doing it, and I felt it was well-deserved. It was after that family meeting when he began acting civil for the kids' sake, and during that time, I truly realized what I destroyed. After the family meeting, little by little my kids began to talk to me again. My youngest took the longest, but I tried. Oh God, did I try to make amends with the kids. I needed to fix what I broke with them.
Pause.
They were my top priority.
That's the stuff I talk about. This is why I say marriage is just not about you and your husband or you and your wife. You have to think about these kids.
Exactly.
Like, y'all know I don't like the word divorce. I don't like to see it. Now, there's situations where it needs to happen, but then there's situations where like this that didn't need to happen. Mm-hmm. What happened to the important part of your kids looking at y'all as the idol of, wow, this is what I want to be. I love the dynamic that I'm seeing. My parents are together. How is it going to affect the kids? Everything is about me only. Yep. When you divorce, you're not just divorcing him, you're divorcing the family. Exactly. When people think of marriage, I need to think of family, not me and him or me and her. It's family.
Yep. So Big said, so I heard the beginning, they said, did the woman influence her or make that bonehead move, or a simp over her? So it was a mixture of both. So it was the female co-workers. So she was 42 and the co-workers was
25.
20.
It's 20 something.
Yeah, they was in their 20s. I think it was 25, right? So and they influenced her. Then the man she was messing around with called her husband a simp, and he ended up getting his ass whooped because he put his hands on his daughter. So I don't know if you caught that, if you had to go in and out. So that's what's going on. So yep, appreciate that. Just Rules,
you guys can definitely support my Cash App, which I'll put at the top. Thank you so much for your contribution as always. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, brother. Precious said, He been more than strong.
Oh
yeah,
my
man.
gosh, yes,
yeah.
he has been.
Yeah, man. It's and I kind of could relate to some of this story, so that's why I kind of like you know what I mean, kind of got to me a little bit when in like my first marriage and stuff. So a lot of this stuff, man, you don't really know what the man goes through in this situation, right? Because you know he's trying to keep his family together, he's trying to do certain things, and then for you to do that, and then you be disrespectful with it. Yeah, nah, above that.
Yeah, y'all gotta watch our segment on We Need to Talk. Make sure y'all type that in if you haven't seen it. James he was so transparent on that show. Y'all have to watch it out because he, you know, you would see why James is the way he is too, because he been through a lot of these things that you know, this video. So
yeah, man. So all right, let's get it. Hey, what's up, beautiful
hey,
animated? What's going on?
How are you?
I don't know if you was here from the beginning, but you're gonna have to rewind this, girl. You're gonna love this story. This was crazy.
As the kids saw my efforts, they slowly opened up, but not as much. During that second year, seeing my kids laughing in the house while my ex-husband joked around or helping around with chores, cooking on the grill and dancing with the girls, I thought that if I made the effort, showing him how much I was sorry, that I could win him back. I did everything that I could, asked for couple counseling, to start over, wearing every outfit he bought me, his favorite perfume, had my hair just how he liked it, but he just ignored me. That's why I tried to kiss him that day. I thought there was a moment, but he stopped me. I cried, I pleaded, and he just looked at me. He told me that he couldn't be with me because I broke him. He will never kiss me because I had another man in my mouth. He will never hold me because I had another man touch me. He will never sleep with me because I allowed another man to sleep beside me. I pointed out the women he had been with after our divorce, and he made it clear that it happened after our divorce. What I did was during our marriage. Your body and heart belongs to me, just like my body and heart belongs to you, and you destroyed that. I'm trying to just be his friend, but it's hard. I've been married to this man for over 20 years and I ruined it in 6 months. For what? A midlife crisis? For my desperate need for female friends? An urge to want to fit in? I look back and I do not know who that person was. Everything was out of character for me. My third born understood, and if it wasn't for her being there for me, I would have ended my life. She kept me sane. Kept me safe. I had no idea she was home that day. Usually the mistreatment happens when the kids are gone or while we're driving to and from work. I always dread it when they leave. Yet I allowed him to do that to me because I felt like I deserved it. That night I stood up for myself. I told him to leave and he didn't like that. Not one bit. When he hit me and pinned me against the wall. My daughter appeared out of nowhere and jumped on his back when he hit me again. He flipped her over and backslapped her. I hit him and ran into the garage with my little girl. He was knocking hard on the door and she called her father. He practically broke through the garage door when my ex arrived and I had to stop him, otherwise my ex would have ended him. His new wife is a godsend for him. She allowed him to love again.
Aww.
Allowed him to be himself again. I didn't want to be a part of his new life, but she insisted. She was also in an offensive relationship before meeting my husband. She wanted no animosities, and trust me, she made it clear that she has claws and is not afraid to use them if I overstep. My children adore her. She was the English teacher to the majority of them after all. I just had these moments of overwhelming guilt that is crippling. Yes, I still worked for that company and I eventually became a manager and fired those women. I knew all of their dirty secrets, so getting rid of them wasn't.
Yo, so she did. She fired those. She got those women fired. That even though she was a stupid one in this situation, whatever, but she ended up getting those women fired. It's crazy.
An issue. I just miss what I had. That's all.
That's it. Oh, that's it.
Man.
All right. So please let us know. Please let us know if you like that type of live that, you know, we're doing Reddit stories.
Woo!
To talk about, like, you know, real true life stories. All right. Please let us know. I'm going to make a poll. Let us know if you like it. But, you know, this is just something that we just started to do. This is part 1. There are so many stories to go through, but this one was crazy to me.
Yo, man. So it's for the people that came late. So
real quick.
Yeah, so just give her a couple things. Like, so she was 42 years old when she got her divorce. She was married at 19, so she was married for over 20 years. The sex life was great, but she wished she would have did more and all that stuff. And then she had 5 kids, and she ended up going to work because she was bored at being a stay-at-home mom. So the husband told her, hey, just go get a job and, you know what I'm saying, work a little bit and make a little money, you'll be good. And then she ended up going, and you know what I mean?
She didn't want, she should have said she should have never went to work.
She wanted a hobby.
Yeah, just get a hobby.
But when she went now, in the situation she met these 20-year-old, they was telling her husband wasn't good and was bad, like a lot of these ladies do today. They'll see you have somebody good and say, hey, your man ain't this, your man ain't that. He should be making 6 figures and he should be this tall and all this BS, right? And she ended up cheating with one of the guys at a job. That guy ended up whooping her butt, putting hands on her, being controlling. So, and you know what I mean? But the husband was still supportive, even though he filed for divorce. He got remarried, had 2 more kids with a woman that was 10 years old, and they lived a happy life.
10 years older.
Yeah, she was 10 years younger.
Younger.
So they ended up having a productive life, and you know, and she became jealous of that situation. So,
and I think Precious asked,
okay, wait, who hit her at the end? The ex again? Yeah, the ex was hitting her over a 2-month period. I think she just retold the story a little bit of exactly what happened that day. So, because her ex-husband came in when the daughter called the ex-husband, he came in there. He almost broke the garage door trying to get to the guy, and he ended up whooping his ass and you know what I mean, broke his wrist, everything for the putting hands on his daughter. So men are very protective of their daughters, you know. So even at an old age, they still, you know what I mean.
Of course,
your daughter, you ain't.
Look, I'm a daughter.
Exactly, like you ain't. That's it, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. So basically, at the end, the ex-husband is living a nice, happy life, and she's not.
Yeah, exactly. So the real person, I think I was the AP. I was the fair part. Frenchie said, I hope they got fired and work related. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. They did. Said the husband was even right to divorce his wife for cheating. She was living through everyone else but herself.
Yeah,
exactly.
That makes sense.
Good point. She seemed depressed. No excuse for cheating. She needs to stay in counseling and not date. Exactly, man.
Not date.
Sounds like retaliation. All right, so I like. Okay, cool. Christopher say you like it. Appreciate that, man. Thank you. So just bringing something different to our community, man. I never really seen people do lives on Reddit stories. So we're just trying to bring something new so people can learn from, because you can always learn from somebody actually telling their story. And this was a throwaway account. So a throwaway account is like a fake account that people make and they just tell their story and they just let people like roast them on the chat. And they kind of like because if you find a story like on Reddit, it's probably like a lot of comments saying, hey, you got what you deserve and all that type of stuff. So she's basically getting punishment and basically holding herself accountable for the actions that she did, right? So
also, we're gonna try to give some resolutions to this story as well. So
exactly. So Just Rule says she lost the game of marriage life. Yes, she was blessed to receive it, then played the deceiver in it. Yeah, she was of her father the devil, and the lust of her father she did. Exactly.
Oh wow. So so basically, when it comes to the beginning of the story or how their marriage was, so we're gonna get into that. But so basically, when you're in a marriage, you work, the husband was working. He seemed to be a good husband. They shouldn't say nothing wrong there. She seemed to be a good wife. They had 5 kids, right? So at the same time, you have to stay within reality of your house, not the reality outside of. Because if you start thinking and listening to others, even me, I'll tell you straight like it is now. Even me, I've been married. I mean, I'm married and I have kids. I don't listen to nobody outside of this house. I don't. Now, and I'm not talking about in a bad way. I'm talking about the ones who I know can't give me advice. Okay. I ask people who I know they're going to give me some valuable advice because I know what their life is like. And I know how they are as a person currently. So I would ask, or they would, give it to me. But I'm saying I don't go outside seeking it. Why? Because me and James, we discuss things along each other in a respectful way. So if I can't talk to him and discuss the problems or whatever's going on, then I'm losing. You have to be able to talk to your partner first. Now, I'm not saying sometimes you need a mediator, depending on what's really going on. Sometimes you do need someone to give more insight on something. Yes, but that's not how it should be majority of your time. It should be you and your partner discussing it in and out. Y'all figure it out. Even us, we have website where you guys can book us, right? But our booking is literally dating to marriage. When y'all get married, don't call me. Why? Because you and your husband and your wife, y'all need to figure that out. You call us when it's like a severe crisis. Because besides us, we have people who actually help, like psychiatrists in our family network and everything. Yeah. So we could give you those sources, but we help individuals dating, right? Vetting the relationship, because that's when you're going to go through the nonsense, and then the getting married. All right. We promote you communicating with your partner at all times. That's how you're going to fix your relationship. Now, with this lady, I didn't see nothing wrong except when she wanted to go to work, which that's fine. But why are you influenced by outside sources that don't know you? Why are you listening to someone that does not know you or him personally? They have no right to say anything about your marriage or your relationship. Okay. So to not get into that, because there could be ladies here that want to go to work, or they're at work now, or men that's in the chat, you might have a wife that's at work. There's many different scenarios. Okay. You have to make sure that, if a lady's going to step into the workforce, you have a conversation with her.
Yeah.
Even ladies, you have to understand that you're going to work for a reason. Mm-hmm. You're not going to work to get some type of therapy for something that you never needed.
Yeah. And then this, man, men, protect your wives in the workforce.
Yeah.
Because that can be, you see how she had attacks on both sides, but the husband wasn't aware, like, then warned her, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? This is some of the things that can happen. So men, if your woman is going into the workforce, she hasn't been, she's had babies and she's not feeling as confident in herself. Sometimes you have to protect her brain. So be like, hey, baby, hey, you going into this workforce now. It's going to be men that's going to be trying to prey on you. Mm-hmm. Hey, don't listen to the BS, whatever. Keep your stuff, keep your mind in order, keep it on the work. And if somebody does say something, make sure I'm the first person you tell me so I can go check that. And we can handle that and we can be cordial, right? And because you got to protect your family, because they have 5 kids, mm-hmm. right? Now he had 2 more with somebody else. So he has a total of 7 kids now, and he was working 60 hours a week. So this man was a hustler, and so he's a good brother. So
on top of that, make sure that you, when it comes to women, we all know women in general, very jealous, envious of things that they don't have. If you don't have something, and you should not be getting jealous of it. What you should do is like, wow, I like what I see. I like the things that or the relationship that they have. I want that. Let me go and get it. That's the mindset you should have. You shouldn't think, let me be hateful. That's not something you hate on. That's a beautiful dynamic that you should go and grab. But you go grab it elsewhere, somewhere else. If you want advice from the, married people that's been married 20 years, go ask them for advice. Don't sit here and try to demolish their situation because your situation is not good. We as women have to stop the drama. We cannot live like that. And you on the other side, the one that's been married, you understand when you walk outside, there are going to be people that's going to be jealous of you. There's really nothing that, that could change that. So have a mind that's open to understand that everybody's not like you and everybody's not the same. And I'm talking about with their mindset. I'm not talking about what you have. I'm talking about your mindset. You should be going around uplifting everyone, not destroying it. So just don't think that when you walk outside, it's a world full of love, because it's not.
Yeah, exactly. So Bridget said, nothing's wrong with getting a job for her, but she should have protected her marriage at all costs. Exactly. And he said he came back. He said, I think she wanted to get hit, unfortunately. Yeah, I think she was trying to pay herself back. I think she was going on that. I think I showed this one and said, my daddy don't play about me. I don't play about my. Exactly, man. You gotta be careful. Men are very protective over women.
Yeah.
I know some women might not agree with that or understand.
They are.
If you had a strong father in your household, daddy got a shotgun. That junk is real. He said,
or brothers, yeah.
Yeah, he said, he should have never put his hands on her kid in the first place.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's weird.
Yeah, man. He said, I'm too like this. Yeah, man. Oh, I think I got this one.
Oh, thank you, y'all. Thank you.
Thank y'all. We catching up. We say I don't listen to trash people that have no values. I don't like to be around me because they breathe in my air. Exactly. He said I don't like what I'm hearing. Yeah, man. I think that was one of the points you were talking about earlier.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, y'all. I said facts. You have to come to your spouse first before anyone else can discuss it. I think it was talking about after you get married, that stuff. So yeah, man. But yeah, man, this was a crazy story, man. So he said, "Bless you in the testimony, lady died. My mother purposely abandoned friendships with unmarried women who poked her nose in her domestic life. Yep. I now understand why she did what she did. Exactly.
Yeah, because so it's not that you cannot be friends with women who are not married. You can. That's not a problem. It just depends on the type of lady they are. There are ladies literally out there to destroy you. So you have to know who is there for great intentions, and it's okay. You just have to wean out the bad seeds, basically.
Said poke their nose rather. Yeah, exactly. All right. So let me see. Salute that wisdom. It said, ladies at my job used to try to throw shade at my wife. Yeah, man. So Frenchie, he was on it. He said, I peeped it. They wanted what she has. Exactly. Talking about, oh, I know your wife won't let you come out, blah, blah, blah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Didn't somebody get us like that on the so on our Instagram? Our Instagram is going crazy right now. There was a comment of a guy saying, oh, where's a video of just you by yourself? And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Trying to get me on there by myself. But no, I gave him love, man. Because sometimes, man, a lot of these people need love. That's it, man. So
you see, look, he the nice one.
No, till they get disrespectful. I complained to one of my single friends about my husband, and when she was talking about it, I shouldn't be married to him. Damn, that was the last time. Oh, that's the last time talking to her. And she's still single. Exactly.
See,
man.
That's what we learned from the mistake. We not just because I had my mistakes too before I got married. It was crazy, and I said, "Oh, never."
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we learned through it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And yeah, we all make mistakes, yo. You know what I'm saying?
Never had it right from the beginning. I had to learn this, so I'm just trying to make sure I bring it to y'all. But you there, you understand exactly.
Exactly. We all make mistakes, man. We all fail. We fall short. You know what I mean? So. And this is the time that you hold yourself accountable. Hey, I made this mistake. All right, cool. I'm not gonna do that no more. And then now other people are like, okay, I get where they're coming from. You know, I mean, I will never do that as well. And then now we actually building communities of people that have working relationships. And now we can look at marriage as a great thing rather than us just, you know what I mean, just we just out here just giving it to everybody. Because if you let a lot of people in your business, they gonna run in there with a jacket on, with a hot toucan, everything. They coming with their bags packed. They coming with you, you know.
Hey, okay, let it be known. I'm working hard when I ain't on the phone. This ain't a phone. Grind never stopping. I'm keeping it cold.